So hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I am Kesia. In this video, I'm going to just be giving y'all this quick short story about how I quit smoking cigarettes, tobacco products altogether. I hope that, this will be encouraging and can help somebody, quit smoking. So stay tuned. I'm going to just jump right into it. First and foremost, let me tell you guys how long, when I started smoking, so you will know that I was definitely a real smoker. And that, I'm not just getting on here I don't want you to feel like it was easy for me to quit. I started smoking at about 17, to be honest. I remember when school would get out and I would walk across the yard, I would be smoking my cigarette. I grew up around a lot of smokers, especially for my dad. He was smoking our house. And this was, I don't want to put my age out there because I'm not that old. But this was during a time where you could still smoke in public places. You could still smoke in restaurants after you got done eating. Yes. It wasn't like such a big warning about secondhand smoke. Like none of that really was, talked about, if at all. I know he just had this routine. He would smoke after he ate. He would smoke if we had a long drive going somewhere. I kind of learned these behaviors, and I found myself smoking in a lot of those same scenarios, especially if I got really frustrated or pissed off, especially if I had eaten a lot of food and got real full. Just hitting that menthol just make you feel like, or maybe nicotine, I'm not sure what it was that gave me the feeling. It just made me feel like, oh, I could breathe. And isn't that damn ironic since cigarettes affect your breathing? But I'm turning 32 this year, so I stopped smoking last year. So I basically smoked, 16 years. And like I said, I started off smoking like 1 cigarette a day. It led up to a pack a day, which led up to 2 packs a day. I got that bad. Like I had to just pull myself back like, bitch, you're doing way too much at this point. And I realized like this is just way too much smoking. I am way too young. I don't know. It was just a little eerie for me to be smoking 2 packs a day. Yeah, I cut back all of that, but I continued to smoke. The only time that I ever stopped smoking cigarettes in my entire life was when I got pregnant with my first child. I was, cautious, very worried about his health. I didn't want to do anything to jeopardize his health. So therefore, I didn't smoke any cigarettes. But once I had them, it was like making up for I was smoking double time once again. I think I switched from smoking cigarettes to Black and Milds, which if you didn't know, they say that 10 cigarettes equals 1 Black and Mild. So that wasn't any better. I remember my mom smoking cigarettes when I was younger, but I remember her quitting between the ages of like 28 and 32. And I remember just making a vow to myself because I wanted to quit, but the habit was just so real. The struggle was so real. I was like, well, when I turn 30, I'm not smoking any more cigarettes. I'm not taking cigarettes into my 30s. And just overall, not just smoking, but just a lot of bad habits, just trying to be a better version of myself. But when 30 came, I was still smoking. I think when I turned 31, to be honest, on my birthday when I turned 31, I think I started smoking blacks then. 1 week turned to 2 weeks, 2 weeks turned to a month turned to another month, and I had begun smoking Black and Milds, period. I was disappointed in myself on that, and I was like, I'm not taking this into 2020 yet again with another, goal. What I did was get into the peak of my story. What I decided to do one night was a spiritual cleanse. Now, I'm not going to get into what I believe in. That is another video for another day. I'm very open-minded. I'm just spiritual. I didn't intend on doing a spiritual cleanse just to quit smoking. As I was saying earlier, I was just trying to be a better version of myself all around. So that's what the spiritual cleanse was for, kind of like a rebirth, like a reboost, a restart, so to speak. Okay, so it was more like a reboost, so like a restart. Basically what I did, November 12th, and I remember that day specifically because it was a special day for me. And what I did was I've had some sage that I had for a while that I bought at like the five and below store. The 5 and Below store. I had got it because I seen it in and I was like, dang, they got sage. So I grabbed some. It was actually my first time buying sage too. And yeah, I just picked that up, and so it was some sage that I would burn, to cleanse my home or whatever. And plus, I just like the way it smells. Like you put like a Christmas tree in your house. Like I felt it gave my house that type of feel. So I just like sage anyway. Upon a spiritual cleanse, I know that I could take sage and like basically spiritually sage or cleanse anything. So I had water, I had a jar, I had a white candle, I had a notebook and a pen. And so basically all I did was sage everything that I was going to be using, including the candle, the water. I remember buying like a fresh gallon of water, which I did that to drink personally for myself anyway. What I did was I cleansed everything. I saged everything real good. I poured my water into my glass. I wrote on the side of my water, spiritual cleanse. I lit my white candle. Well, actually, before I lit my candle, I wrote on the side of my candle, spiritual cleanse. I actually picked the white candle to represent purity. And so I lit my candle. I remember drinking my water. I wrote down my intentions, which was nothing specific about, like I said, not about smoking or anything. It was just something general, basically saying, I'm a new me, just whatever you want to say, however you want to feel, whatever, is that whatever you're seeking to get from it. So I just wrote that down, and as my candle burned, I, just thought on the better version of myself. I just put my focus there. I kept reading what I had written down so that it could just really marinate. So I could hear myself saying it, so I could feel it. And I just said it over and over until I felt good about it. So once I did that, I think then after I got done is when I drank my water. And it was very simple. It was something I just made up off the top of my head. I believe in energy. I definitely didn't have to do that. But one thing I know about, small, innocent, pure rituals like that is that, it's really just a symbolism, or it's just symbolic. I feel like when I, use those things, that it was just basically like a symbolic boost for the energy and my intentions, for what I was trying to do. That's basically it. Sometimes it's just like quantum jumping. From what I've learned from that, you just have to sometimes shift your psyche or your subconscious. Your subconscious is working when you're obviously not even thinking about it or don't have any control over it. It's always back there making moves for you. Okay, I could have just basically not have had any of those things, and it probably still would have worked, but I wanted to make myself like really feel it and believe it. So it's just, for symbolism, just innocent. Okay, after I did all of that, I was like, okay, I felt better. I instantly felt better. I instantly felt renewed or refreshed. So I still had like some black and mild left. I still had a little black and mild left. And I was going to smoke that black. I ain't gonna lie. I had went and picked it up, and I was going to go ahead and heat it. And I was going to actually let that be my last black. But to be honest, when I went to go light it, it was just something in me that was just like, it was basically like I had a feeling, and I kind of heard this voice that was saying like, why are you gonna smoke that black when you just did this, all of this, you just went through all of this spiritual cleansing, and you said you felt better, so why would you kind of like pollute your body right after your spiritual cleanse? And so I think I really felt guilty about it, and I just, like I said, the urge is just like, don't do it. It's just kind of like when you go freshly wash your car, your car is clean as hell. You don't want to run through any mud or any rain puddles. Or you just be pissed off if anything gets on your car because your car is freshly washed. So that's kind of how I felt like, I'm cleansed, I'm purified at this point. Why am I going to smoke? And so with that, I just didn't smoke. And when the next day came, I didn't smoke. And when the next day came, I didn't smoke, and I was just not smoking. Like, I had quit. It was so easy because, like I said, those were not even my intentions. Yes, I wanted to keep the habit, but I didn't even think that because I did that I would like instantly and easily, out of all things, quit smoking. So, I know that may not work for everybody, but one thing I can say, is, for one, besides the spiritual cleanse, not even speaking on the spiritual cleanse, for one, you have to already be ready to quit. You can't be like still enjoying the cigarettes, you know, if you're trying, and this is for people who are trying to quit smoking cigarettes or trying to quit any type of habit, you cannot still be enjoying it. Like I said before, I actually stopped smoking. I was honestly tired of smoking. I was tired of how it smelled. Every time I lit a cigarette, I would really be about to drive my own self out of the car, but it's me that's smoking. So I started to notice that I didn't like the smell anymore. I did not like the taste anymore. But like I said, sometimes circumstances being stressful or just anxiety, it would be like, ooh, let me smoke. I was used to having something between my fingers to pull and puff to relax me. That was why it carried on as long as it did. But I had been ready to quit, stop smoking. And like I said, I was just tired of the smell getting into my weave. To be honest, I started feeling embarrassed when I smoked out in public places. Like people, I don't know they weren't paying my ass any attention, but I started to feel like, girl, you are too old and you too, you know, pretty of a woman to be sitting up here smoking on some nasty ass cigarette. I don't think it directly had anything to do with that night of why I stopped smoking, but it definitely motivated me to not pick up another black. So that's what it was. That's my story. That's how I quit smoking tobacco products. Of course, it's February, so now I have been tobacco free since going on 3 months in a few days, February 12th this month. Kudos to me because I smoked for 16 years. So I just want to encourage you, if you're watching this video or if you know somebody that's trying to kick this habit, show them this video. Your life is important. Your health is your wealth. Y'all should know that, if nothing else. Like, it's so many people dying right now. Y'all know what I mean. People with money leaving this world. What does the money mean when you're gone? Nothing. So, you know, your health is wealth. Your health is going to be more important than anything. Take care of yourself. Do the best you can. I know things are easier said than done. I know sometimes shit don't happen overnight, but that did for me. So just believe when it's your time and when you're really serious about it, you too can do it. Thank y'all so much for watching my video. I hope you got something from this, if nothing but inspiration. And please continue to come back. Until next time, peace.